and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Federal government reassures of August 1 deadline for the full operation of the first phase of tolling operation on the 227.5-kilometer Abuja, Kefi, Akwanga, Lafia, Makurdi Federal Highway. Federal Capital Territory Police Command deploys 4,200 policemen across the nooks and crannies of the nation's capital ahead of the proposed nationwide protest. National Film and Video Censors Board reaches out to the producers of the controversial Nollywood movie that sparked condemnation by Muslims following this Wednesday's call by Muslim rights concern for a ban. I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. Ahead of the proposed nationwide protest, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has deployed a total of 4,200 policemen across the nooks and crannies of the nation's capital. The command also announced the deployment of explosive ordnance device experts at various strategic locations. The command, in a statement on Friday by its spokesperson, Josephine Ade, said the deployment was to ensure public safety, protection of protesters, and to prevent the protests from being hijacked by non-state actors. Still on security, the military says its troops neutralized 106 criminals and arrested 164 others in different locations across its theaters of operations in the country. Briefing journalists on kinetic operations of the military in the last 1 week, Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said clearance operations and patrols on hideouts and enclaves of criminals have seen remarkable results with the elimination of more terrorist leaders, commanders, foot soldiers, as well as their collaborators.
Troops are not resting on their oars, but continue to exert significant military pressure to defeat the terrorists and their cohorts in the northeast, in the northwest, and in north central zones. In the southeast zone, we have sustained the momentum against the indigenous people of Biafra and their armed Eastern Security Network cohorts. During the week under review, troops neutralized 106 terrorists and arrested 164 persons across the theaters of operation. Troops also arrested 32 perpetrators of oil theft and rescued 103 kidnapped hostages during the week.
Speaking on the oil-rich South-South zone of the country, the defense spokesman said military authorities in the region have developed a unified command structure for security operating in the region so as to reduce the activities of the perpetrators of crude oil theft in the region.
In the South-South, troops denied the oil theft of an estimated sum of about 800 million naira. Troops also recovered over 800,000 liters of stolen crude oil, as well as over 121,000 liters of illegally refined AGO, popularly known as diesel, and 450 liters of DPK, popularly known as kerosene. Speaking about crude oil theft, in battling the perpetrators of the crude oil theft, we have established a unified command structure for security agencies operating in the region. Additionally, we are examining other areas such as transparency of the international oil companies operating in the region, We are also examining credible metering of the oil wells, as well as examining the tracking of point of loading to point of destination of the crude oil. We are also galvanizing the support of the host communities as well as stakeholders in the oil sector.
Now, the Minister of Women Affairs, Barrister Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, has appealed to all Nigerians to exercise more patience with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration over the lingering hardship in the country. The appeal comes in the wake of a planned nationwide protest over the prevailing economic hardship in Nigeria. The minister, at a rally for women this Friday in Abuja, pleaded with Nigerian women to advise their children against participating in the protest for the benefit of the country.
I don't know what to say, but to plead with Nigerians from my heart. I have shown them love. I have shown them commitment. I have shown my women that they have somebody to fight for. I couldn't have done this if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not giving me support, because they would have removed me, killed me, or kicked me out. But he stood by me. That is the strength I have. That is the backbone that I have. And that is why I can fight for the women. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu standing by me shows that he's standing by women. And the women are the mothers of the nation. That's why we decided to gather, to plead with our children. We don't want to lose any of them. Let them stay home and give a chance. I believe 1 year from now, all the government has been doing will start showing.
In his remarks, politician and activist Asari Dokubo and other stakeholders called on Nigerians to be patient with the president over the hardships currently being faced in the country, while urging women to show support for the president as he unfolds his vision for the country.
My sisters, my wives, it is your duty to talk to us as men. We all know that the president had been there for 1 year plus. He was given a 4 years mandate. The president is not a magician. And as women, we feel the pinch of whatever is happening more than any other group of people. More than the men, more than the youths. Because whatever we are giving at home, we use it to manage and do the magic so that we can eat. The president must be supported at this moment to save this country. People should set politics aside.
As for us, as Nigerian students, who are your children, if Nigerian women gather here today and say they want a united Nigeria, they want to support Mr. President, they want to give Mr. President more time. I think we all listen to our mothers. Every pain Nigerians are passing through, the women feel them more importantly. Even we as students, we can see that the women struggle to ensure that they pay their children's school fees. They struggle to ensure that their children is given good education. So if today our women, our mothers are telling us there should be united Nigeria, no destruction, no faceless demonstration, no protest, I think we will be the voice of our mother.
The protest, which is billed to begin from August 1st, 2024 with the hashtag #EndBadGovernance, is already gaining momentum on social media, prompting reactions across quarters by pro- and anti-Tinubu groups. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, has credited the widespread poverty, unemployment, insecurity, and other socio-economic challenges facing the country to the absence of good governance in Nigeria. Speaking at an annual lecture to mark its 17th anniversary, Huriwa National Coordinator Emmanuel Onwubiko called on political office holders to use their office to promote programs and initiatives that protect the fundamental human rights and interests of Nigerians. The report. Seated in this hall are top government officials, legislators, civil society organizations, members of the academia and other relevant stakeholders for a one-day lecture to brainstorm, assess and review the human rights situation in Nigeria and draw more support and action towards enhancing the promotion and protection of human rights in the country. In his welcome address, Huriwa's national coordinator, Emmanuel Onwubiko, while decrying the socio-economic situation of the country, called on President Tinubu to take proactive steps in cutting down the cost of governance and channel the country's resources to the well-being of the masses.
The greatest implication of the absence of good governance is the current widespread insecurity in the country. We appeal to the government and especially to the President Bola Tinubu, to drastically cut down on the cost of governance. It is such an intolerable error of judgment that the government embarked on such white elephant projects such as the acquisition of a multi-billion naira mansion of about 20 billion for the Vice President. In these times that over 103 million households are going through the rough and tumbles of multidimensional poverty. Why build such a massive mansion for the Vice President when the country is the poverty capital of the world?
The Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi-San, while delivering his keynote address, assured Nigerians that the Federal Ministry of Justice will ensure that legal and institutional frameworks support governance, security and prosperity while upholding the human rights of citizens.
Security measures must always be balanced with the need to respect and protect human rights. Excessive use of force, arbitrary detentions, and other abuses undermine the very foundation of our democratic principles. The Ministry of Justice remains dedicated to ensuring that our legal and institutional frameworks support good governance and security in a manner that upholds human rights. We are committed to promoting policies and practices that strike these delicate balance, ensuring that the rights of all Nigerians are protected, even as we strive to maintain national security.
Other speakers at the event noted that although effective governance fosters an environment where the rule of law is maintained, a more holistic approach is needed to ensure that all citizens enjoy the fulfillment of their fundamental human rights.
That's why I advise those of our leaders to bring on their tongue. The way they talk Nigerians, when Nigerians get very, very angry. The way they bring on, they should bring their tongue and stop talking anyhow to Nigerians. And also stop living opulent life, extravagant lives. Because we drive, in opulent ways and extravagant life, you make us angry. When you are campaigning, you come and open cars. And we saw you. When you now went into office, you take your glasses. We can't see you any longer. This is kind of discrimination we have in this country. If you relate with the citizenry, it makes it easier.
The interplay between political leadership, human rights, and military influence is a complex and multifaceted one with significant implications for governance and social well-being of the citizenry and everyone. In the context of Nigeria's political landscape, the President's renewed hope agenda represents a commitment to address these interrelated aspects with the view to fostering a more equitable and prosperous society.
It is the duty more of civil society organizations than of political class to deal with issues of human rights. The law is already there for us to copy. The legislations we are talking about, they are individual bills or laws that can be made that can be amended.
The public lecture with the theme, Any Nexus Between Political Leadership and Human Rights, brought to the fore the need for renewed commitments to working together for a Nigeria where good governance, security, and human rights coexist harmoniously. The federal government has reassured commuters and other road users that the full operation of the first phase of tolling operation on the 227.5-kilometer Abuja, Kefi, Akwanga, Lafia, Makurdi federal highways on August 1, 2024 is still a reality. Speaking at the site inspections on Thursday in Makurdi, the Deputy Director, Highways Planning and Development, Engineer Ebere Isanobi, said although a few things are yet to be fixed before the full operation, August 1st deadline is still in place. Clevy News Imefono Kon was there and tells us more.
At the site inspections in Makurdi, Lafia and Akwanka, the Deputy Director, Highways Planning and Development, Engineer Ibere Isanobi, and the Director, Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, Emmanuel Owonde, said the full operation of Abuja, Kefi, Akwanka, Lafia, Makurdi in August is a reality, regardless of the few things that are yet to be fixed, such as some safety measures. Recall that the federal highway was until recently in a state of despair with its attendant safety and cost challenges, which include vehicle damages, accidents, robberies, and loss of valuable man-hours due to the stress of navigating through potholes and gridlocks.
August 1st is a reality because the items they need to put in place wouldn't take much time. It's most like a plug and play. If you're going to put a signboard, it's just to get the signboard and install it. It doesn't need a long process to be done. And secondly, if you're going to put a cat eye or speed reducing measures, it's something you come and put on the road. Within a week, all the items required will be done. Like for instance, they need to put the name of the toll plaza on the toll plaza so that people know where they are. That can be done in a day. It's just to get the artist to do the design and put it on the toll plaza cladding. So I think they have enough time to get it done before the 1st of August.
The ICRC is the regulatory body in charge of this concession that you see happening here today. So we are really excited that we're coming to a point where this project can really kick off, talking about the operations and the management of the road. So generally from the response that we've gotten today, they have indicated to us that about 96% ready to commence, and what they have said to us is that the 4 or 5 items that we've observed, like the signages, the advertorial stuffs and all the rest, and of course the way bridges, there are plans to put them in place now, which is also something that we have to validate by next week. So once that happens, we are sure that we're ready to drive that. So August 1st, yes, becomes a reality as long as that is followed. But we are sure that within August, I'm sure, if there are 1 or 2 things that needs to be put in place, we can also, put in just a little time to see how that works. All for the comfort of road users, to make sure that our roads are very safe and motorable.
The General Manager of Check Operations and Maintenance, Jide Odunyoye, while calling on the residents of the area to support the government initiative, pointed out that all is set for the full operation of the toll gate, except if there are factors from the federal government that will change it.
When you look at what is in place and what needs to go on, I think we're pretty ready for the toll system to start on the 1st of August. But then there are other factors that can change all that, obviously from the government side, if they so wish. But in terms of operational readiness, yes, we are ready. I mean, most of all the units that is required for a positive tolling system is in place. You can see the infrastructure, the road is ready, the toll booths are ready. Everything is pretty okay and ready for us to go. Instead of using the word challenge, I would say we need the cooperation of the immediate local persons, the villagers and everything, to support what the government is doing, which is a positive thing. And basically that's because once they have a complete buy-in, right, then we're good to go.
It will be recalled that the toll plazas across the Federation were dismantled in January 2004 as the toll collection was riddled with leakages and tolled roads were not well maintained, leading to public outcry. Imefonokun reporting for Clevy News.
The National Association of Refrigerator and Air Conditioning Practitioners (NARAP) held its national conference and elections in Abuja on July 25, 2024. The event, themed World Refrigerator Day, repositioning NARAP and energy efficiency in refrigerator and air conditioning, brought together industry professionals and stakeholders. Clearview's Florence Joshua brings us details of the event.
At the conference, NARAP appealed to the government to standardize the association by ensuring only registered and licensed members can practice repairs, adding that the move will promote high-quality service and safeguard public safety. Speaking at the event, Minister of Environment, represented by Engineer Idris Abdullahi, pledged the government's commitment to supporting organizations such as NARAP and others to boost the association's effort in promoting energy efficiency and excellence in the industry.
Only trained and certified technicians that are allowed to practice refrigeration and air conditioning practices. Of course, the association will be the first point of call. We'll work with you to ensure that this is done in accordance to the law of the land. In recognition of the great role of NARAP in our HPMP project implementation, the ministry, in collaboration with our implementing agencies for the Montreal Protocol implementation, namely UNIDO and UNDP, and support from the multilateral fund of the Montreal Protocol, has continued to provide technical support to NARAP in terms of provision of refrigeration and air conditioning equipment and tools, as well as training and capacity building of their members towards adoption of ozone-friendly technologies.
The association's president expressed gratitude to his team and wished them a successful conference, noting that the association remains committed to upholding the highest standards of excellence, with skilled and experienced professionals dedicated to delivering top-notch air conditioning installation services nationwide.
I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank God for Johnny Mercy. I want to welcome every one of you from your different states. When we were proposing, we never thought it would be like this. But because God is God, we have nearly all the 36 states around here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the level of development of our industries and technicians will determine the quality of products, delivery of service, and sustenance of our environment. The National Association of Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Practitioners, NARAP, have over the years maintained the visibility and professionalism of Nigeria's refrigeration and air conditioning sector. We see and appreciate the service NARAP has given to ensure that Nigeria's rack sector continues to thrive. And today, I assume that NARAP is the most popular rack body in Nigeria.
The election and conference marks a significant step for the association in its mission to advance the refrigerator and air conditioning industry in Nigeria by promoting standardization, energy efficiency, and excellence, thereby making a positive impact on the industry and the environment. Florence Joshua reporting for Clearview News Desk.
If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us. Perseverance is a great element of success. If you only knock long enough and loud enough at the gate, you are sure to wake up somebody. Welcome back. Following calls by the Muslim rights concern for the ban of the yet-to-be-released Nollywood movie for what it described as a provocative depiction of Muslim women. The National Film and Video Censors Board says it has reached out to the producers of the said movie over the use of the niqab in a robbery scene in the movie. Recall that the scene sparked an outrage among Muslims after the popular actress Nancy Isime shared a photo of it on Instagram on Monday. The Muslim rights concern, in a statement signed by the executive director of MURIC, Professor Ishak Akintola, on Thursday, called for the ban on the yet-to-be-released movie. And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. The federal government has reassured commuters and other road users that the full operation of the first phase of tolling operation on the 227.5-kilometer Abuja-Kefi-Akwanga-Lafia-Makurdi federal highways on August 1, 2024 is still a reality. Ahead of the proposed nationwide protest, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has deployed a total of 4,200 policemen across the nooks and crannies of the nation's capital to forestall breakdown of law and order. Following calls by the Muslim rights concern for the ban of the yet-to-be-released Nollywood movie for what it described as a provocative depiction of Muslim women, the National Film and Video Censors Board says it has reached out to the producers of the said movie over the use of the niqab in a robbery scene in the movie. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Have a wonderful weekend.